Good morning. Keep on winning, child of God. Today I would just like to encourage you, Christian, that without prayer, you achieve nothing. Without prayer, your Christian life is misery. It's full of sadness. There is no joy. Let us read the message, Mark chapter 9. For a good measure, just read the whole scripture. But for the sake of our time, our time is always limited here on our channels. Let us read verse 23, Mark chapter 9, verse 23, then I'll go to 28 and 29. Jesus said to him, "If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes." 28. And when he had come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why could we not cast it out?" Jesus, why? Why could we not cast it out? 29. So he said to them, "This kind can come out by nothing but prayer and fasting." Right, child of God, my word today, a fasting that brings change, the prayer life that brings change to your situation. I don't know your situation, I don't know your story, I don't know what you're going through. But as a child of God, have you taken time to kneel down, pray and fast and ask God to help you? Even when you are fasting, what is your fasting like? Many of us Christians, we do pray and fast a lot, but we forget one thing. As we are praying, we have not forgiven. As we are fasting, we have not let go of offense. As we are fasting, your mind is not in prayer. You are busy criticizing others. So one, there must be a good environment for you to pray and fast. But nowadays we can see that all of us are busy. We are employed by somebody. We are working for someone. Not all of us have got our own companies. Majority of us are working for other people. But you need now to grow your spiritual life. You need now to grow into the ways of the Lord. But there are barriers because we are working. Your time is limited. You wake up early in the morning, you go to work, you come back from work, you are tired. Sometimes the work is so much heavy that it takes a lot of strength from your body and you get tired, you get hungry and you want to eat, which is normal. So many of us have engaged into this prayer that we call 6 to 6. I don't know if it's in the Bible. Please put your comment there and tell me the scripture that says believers were praying from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I've checked that scripture myself. I failed to find it. But if you have it, please do not forget. Just comment below. Tell me where I can find this scripture that says believers can pray from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. without eating anything, which is alright. But why is our prayer not producing results? Why is our prayer not producing results? There are people who pray and fast because they are being tormented by a spiritual husband or a spiritual wife. The day they break their prayer to say they are done, the spiritual wife, spiritual husband comes and attack. So the question is, were you praying? If you were praying, why then the attack? So there's a lot of things that we need to consider as children of God as we engage into this prayer and fasting so that our prayer can bring results. I am here knowing that many Christians have prayed and fasted for a change in their lives, but nothing is happening. Let's hear what Jesus is saying to the disciples. So he said to them, "This kind can come out by nothing but by prayer and fasting." On verse 23 he says, Jesus said to him, If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. Right here, this is a story whereby the disciples failed to cast away a demon. I think they were even sweating because they were busy saying, come out, come out. And the demon did not nyagaza. The demon did not move. So this is the life of Christians today. We are praying, we are engaging into fast. We are like putting our body into hardship. But at the end of the day, nothing is happening. The answer is simple. Are we offering a right fasting? Are we presenting ourselves, our bodies, as a living sacrifice? Today I'm here to challenge you, child of God. If you have been fasting for a situation and there was no change, and there is no change up to now, you have even given up on fasting, you are eating like no one else's business nowadays, I would like to encourage you to go back to your way of prayer and fasting, because if you cannot pray and fast, the enemy will always attack you. As Christians, we need to teach ourselves, create moments of prayer and fasting. Like now, we are about to enter into 2021. If you are a Christian, prepare yourself for 2021 by prayer and fasting. Start prayer in the midnight until the morning. Start to pray and fast. I don't know what kind of fast is suitable for you because of the nature of your job. But teach your body that it's not all about food. Sometimes you can even go and check in the hospital and see why is it there are some people who are surviving on drip. They only give them water on a drip. And you are afraid to skip a meal. You are afraid to skip your breakfast. And you call yourself a Christian. Satan is waiting for you to attack you. Fasting gives us a refreshed mind. You are like consecrating yourself, setting yourself aside for God's purpose. When you offer prayer or fasting, it heals you. You don't have power to argue with people when you are in deep prayer and fasting. A person who's praying, a person who's fasting, even if they accuse you, you don't have the power to answer back, but your inner man is strong. The enemy today is destroying Christians because Christians no longer fast nowadays. They wait for their church leaders to announce, to say, next week, from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are fasting. Why can't you develop a system as a Christian to fast? We have 7 days a week. Can't you divide there? Pick a few days for your own spiritual growth. Because it is after prayer and fasting that you can now command, that you can now say, you, out of my house. You sickness and disease, out of my house. Because you have been praying and fasting. For Jesus said, this kind, let me read for you the scripture. Mark chapter 9, verse 29. So he said to them, this kind can come out by nothing but by prayer and fasting. How long have you been looking for a job? How long have you been knocking in different offices? Yet you go back home and start eating. Why can't you be angry? Spiritual anger, and say, no, 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 no. Devil, I'm not going to give you this chance again. I am going on my knees into prayer and fasting, and I know that the God I pray to will answer me. Child of God, prayer and fasting, it is the key that opens the doors and that also gives you the power to command Satan out of your life. Learn to pray. Learn to fast. We have 7 days a week. Divide. If you are a child of God, if you are a Christian, start today and prepare yourself to prayer and fasting. We need results 2021, child of God. You must be a better person. You must start dreaming dreams because you are a child of God. Remain blessed, child of God, as we prepare to enter 2021. I love you, and Jesus Christ loves you the more. Remember, without prayer and fasting, you achieve nothing. Thank you.